Hey everybody, today we are just outside of Fort Myers actually at a little place called the Cracker Shack, and you can feed animals out here, kind of a little petting zoo almost, but they do have a restaurant up just off the road a little bit past where we're looking right now, and kind of a produce, vegetables, things like that are fresh grown out here that you can buy in the store. But the reason that we're here is because we're actually in ALVA, Florida. And we're going to talk about ALVA a little bit, but some of the other places outside of Fort Myers that maybe you've never heard of, or maybe you've never considered if you're moving to Southwest Florida. So we're going to get into those in this video here, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, I'm Jason Compton.
I'm Josh Cowan, a local real estate agent here in Southwest Florida.
Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there's to know about, not necessarily goats like the ones behind us, but certainly Fort Myers or Southwest Florida, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and be sure that you tap that little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. Now we have people reaching out to us from all over the country with questions about Fort Myers, Southwest Florida, and just what it's like to live in this part of the country. So if you have questions at all, again, not about goats or any animals or anything like that, we're not experts, but we are among them out here at the Cracker Shack today. But if you have questions at all, then don't hesitate to reach out any ways you know how. We'll always have your back with those questions, and we'll certainly have your back when it comes time for you to make your move to Fort Myers or anywhere in Southwest Florida. So again, we are just outside of Fort Myers, and if you're moving to Southwest Florida, you're probably at least eyeing Fort Myers and know about Fort Myers, but of course there are a lot of other places in the Southwest Florida region that you might want to consider outside of Fort Myers. Fort Myers is going to have a particular lifestyle that might not necessarily suit you, but it's going to be a little bit more city. If you know Fort Myers, of course it has beaches, but not all of Fort Myers is exactly that way. So once you get into exploring a little bit more of it, you might think, I want an alternative. And so we're getting into just a handful of places just outside of Fort Myers that might fit that. And this first one is ALVA. Now, not all of ALVA is exactly like where we're standing right now, but we stopped here. Josh's family, Mackenzie, and the kids, they're out here too, and just had lunch at the Cracker Shack. But you can actually get a cup of vegetables or some feed and go around and feed chickens, goats. They have guinea pigs, a pig, tortoises, obviously a lot of wildlife out here. But this is just one little place that is kind of representative of the town of ALVA. And so it's outside, a little northeast of Fort Myers, and it does have a rural feel. But what about ALVA?
Yeah, so it's just a short drive from the heart of Fort Myers.
Yeah, really short.
To get out here, and you know, it's a kind of a country lifestyle setting out here. There's a large river that flows directly through the city of ALVA.
Yep.
ALVA is actually one of the oldest settlements here for Lee County, which is part of Fort Myers, or Fort Myers is part of. And so when you're out here, what you can expect is nature,
turkeys,
farms, you know, more lots, larger. If you're looking for more of a larger lot, you know, acreage, you can locate a builder and do a little bit of a build on your own lot. Some builders actually already own lots out here that you can then have them build out here as well. And it's just a really nice, you know, setting, get away from the city if that's what you're looking for.
Right, and like you said, if you're trying to build on, let's say, an acre, 2 acres, 3 acres, 4 acres, or even up to 10 acres, something like that, it's going to be hard to find that in Fort Myers, or at least with that Fort Myers address, especially something that's fairly affordable. But out here in ALVA, and not that far outside of Fort Myers, you can find that. Whether it's affordable or not, that's completely up to your budget, but it's going to be more affordable than what it is in Fort Myers proper, definitely. It's not a very big place. There's roughly 3,000 people in ALVA, so not a bustling metropolis, and it's a lot more of a rural feel. So outside of ALVA, if you're looking north Fort Myers, and again, you don't want to be in Fort Myers, just down the road from here is a new planned development. It's actually a city, so it'd be BOBCOCK Ranch. You'd actually write as your address, but it's BOBCOCK Ranch, just barely to the north of here. Totally different feel once you're inside of BOBCOCK Ranch because it is so new. Inside of BOBCOCK Ranch, you're gonna have all kinds of more modern amenities, including a golf course. They have BOBCOCK National there. They've got restaurants within their downtown area. It's not very big, but they do have some of those. They have some amenities in there. They have a school in there, and of course, homes too. So lots of brand new, actually thousands of brand new homes being built. So if you're out here in Alva and you don't want to secure a really good sized lot where it's an acre, 2 acres, that's too expensive, especially to put a custom home on it, but you still like to be out here outside of Fort Myers and you're looking for a more affordable home, of course on a smaller lot, then a place like Babcock Ranch could be a pretty good fit.
Yeah, you know, like he said, it was a planned community. It's about 90,000 acres, and out of those 90,000 acres, roughly only 10% of that is actually going to be developed. And that's currently what's been happening for a little over the last decade, that they've been building up the heart of that city, the new communities popping up all around it. You know, the city offers, with all that acreage, lots of hiking, camping, hunting, you know, all sorts of outdoor stuff up here.
Right, yeah, it's just most of it's going to be preserved as a preserve. So in Babcock Ranch, while you'll have those modern amenities and a modern home, you'll be surrounded by all of that. So a pretty unique place just outside of Fort Myers that maybe you haven't heard of. All right, so again, outside of Fort Myers to the north with Babcock Ranch and Alva, if those aren't your jam, if you don't like the rural or you don't want to just live in a community that is really modern but also still rural, just to the north of Fort Myers, you can get into Punta Gorda, which is only about 20,000 people. So it's certainly bigger than Alva and bigger than Babcock Ranch, at least right now. Population of Fort Myers is much, much larger than in Punta Gorda. So Punta Gorda, though, still has a lot of the things that Fort Myers is going to offer. So same amenities, it still has a beach. You'll still see tourists there in Punta Gorda, but not to the level that you're going to see over in Fort Myers.
Just comparing it to Fort Myers, the best comparison I can think of is just look at the airport. Punta Gorda actually even has its own little airport there, but the airport kind of fits the size of the city. You know, like he was saying, they have a lot of art shows out there, jazz festivals, a lot of things going on outdoors. It's kind of that smaller city where if you go to some of the same places, start to get that smaller town, everybody kind of knows everybody, get used to, you know, seeing the same people, and if that's, you know, what you're looking for, that's a good city for you.
Absolutely, yeah. It's kind of a smaller version of Fort Myers. You want a city, that would be good, but you want a smaller city, definitely a pretty good option. Not rural, has that feel like a Fort Myers, just on a different level. All right, if north of Fort Myers isn't quite your thing, and what we've just talked about is not quite your thing, you can go to the south, and you can get down near Naples, but actually east of Naples to Ave Maria.
Yeah, so Ave Maria is a planned community. They have the Ave Maria University out there, and then the community was actually built around this Ave Maria Catholic Church that is kind of like the heart of the city out there. That then from there it branches out to the retail stores, the restaurants, grocery stores, shopping, and then outside of those it branches out to all your newer build communities. There's quite a variety of communities, you know, whatever fits your budget. When you're looking for homes, there's huge variety of builders out there with the different communities. And then you also have a large water park for Ave Maria that, you know, if you're part of those communities, that then you gain access to using that large water park. And
yeah, it's just cool.
You know, everything around there is literally just golf cart right away. You know, it's a smaller city that is just growing and getting bigger and bigger. It's more inland, like he said, east of Naples. So it is a little bit further drive from the beach, but if you know you want to be part of a city that is continuously growing and get in there early, that's one for you.
Definitely, and it's a planned community just like Babcock Ranch is, so those amenities will continue to develop and appear in a place like that, and it's all incredibly new, so a really different feel than what you might have in a lot of areas inside of Fort Myers. All right, the next one on this list, we're going a little bit to the south again, and this one's kind of a hybrid, I'd say, maybe of all, or maybe not a hybrid, but certainly a little different than some of the others that we talked about, and it's a little bit in between what you might find with Fort Myers and Punta Gorda. That's Bonita Springs. Now, Bonita Springs is not a small place. There's close to 60,000 people or so in Bonita Springs, but Bonita Springs is known for a lot of things.
Yeah, so it's really known for its beaches, its dunes. There is still, you know, it may be a more dense city compared to some of the places we talked about earlier, but there is still a lot of state parks over there, a lot of kayaking that people do. It seems like, you know, every week the city holds some sort of concert or fest, taco fest, You name it,
that sounds
every
good.
week it seems like something's going on there.
Absolutely, yeah. It's much more dense than what you're going to find with the other places that we mentioned in this video here. There's a lot more happening than certainly a place like Ave Maria or Babcock Ranch or ALVA. You know, those are a lot quieter, but not necessarily so quiet nothing's going on, but Bonita Springs would be that kind of that in between. So plenty of golf, plenty of things outdoors to do, right on the beaches, but a lot less touristy than what you're going to find in Fort Myers. So if you're a resident there, you're actually living there, it's probably going to have everything that you need, of course, but going to have that feel of being a little more relaxed and a slightly slower pace, which outside of Fort Myers may be what you're looking for if you're trying to find places like what we've mentioned in this video here today. So this list is just a short list of places that maybe you've never heard of or never considered, or places that kind of fly under the radar as far as being in the Fort Myers area or in Southwest Florida. So if you have questions about any of these places that we mentioned here today at all, or any other place in Southwest Florida, then make sure you reach out. And until the next one, we'll see you later.
See ya.